Well, it's time to sit down, grab a sweet tea in your hand, on a worn-out rocker with a view of this southern land. I got the crickets singing low and the fireflies in the sky. It's front porch talking time, let the world roll by. It's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, a Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're keeping it real like only Southern boys can. You might agree or you might just sigh, but they're Southern fried till the day they die. A little gospel, a little grit, and a whole lot of pride. They speak from the heart, never got nothing to hide. From D.C. to Dixie, they'll stir up the stew. If it ruffles your feathers, well, that's what they do. It's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, a Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're keeping it real like only Southern boys can. You might cheer or you might ask why, but they're Southern fried till the day they die. They got stories, opinions, and a joke or two. Laid back truth with a country point of view. So pull up a chair, don't let the night slip by. There's wisdom in that old southern sky. Yeah, it's time to sit down with a little front porch talking with our friends Robert and David, the Southern Fried Podcast. They're gonna talk about Donald Trump, they're gonna talk MAGA, but they're laughing and living and loving the land. You might stay or just stop by, but they're Southern fried till the day they die.
Absolutely. Testing a new song there. I don't remember if that's one I did or one Jake sent. He would let me know. Been sitting in there for a little bit, more for the front porch, but it's okay. It fits the Breadhead show as well. Dave in the AM here. Well, as you can see, I'm not in South Georgia. We're even on the way. Things have happened, and I can't make it. I have to work. We've had people out that do Saturday work, and we have 2 people out, and they can't cover for me. So that's life, you know. We have to take care of our jobs. So Robert is we're scrambling. Robert's getting things ready down there. He'll handle. I will chime in and help manage broadcast from up north. Between the 2 of us, we'll pull it off. That's just the way it is. I did not feel good last night. I didn't make it this morning. I was feeling really rough. Allergies, I guess. And I just told Rob, I can't make it, man. I'm going to sleep in. And I had an event today, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes, just a Friday chat. It was really cool. I mean, a blessing. And we'll talk about that just a little bit. And then Robert was overslept. And I didn't realize that because I just went back to bed. I pulled up the stream just for a second to make sure they looked good. And he had just come in. And I went back to sleep. The allergies finally caught up with me. I felt bad Friday evening on the show, or Thursday evening, on the show. And I just tried to do the best I could. And then this morning I was like, I can't make it. Don't know that Rob will be in front porch tonight. He might, but he's got a lot of stuff to get done for tomorrow. So he may not be. But we do have a topic in that show. In this show, we're just chatting. We welcome you to be in here. It's our Breadhead show. Kind of something new. It's for our breadheads, all of you that are part of the Cornbread Nation, which if you follow our show, you by default really are part of the Cornbread Nation because we're the Southern Fried Cornbread Nation. That's our official business name. So you follow in and you're a breadhead. So this is the Breadhead show. So it deserved a show. So It may just be chat. It may have topics. It may do a lot of things. But for tonight, it was just me a chance to get on. I have slept all day. Well, not all day, ever since I got home. I went to work just for a few minutes, and then I went to a community event, which I'll talk about. It was a blessing. I was worn out when I got home because I hadn't felt great. And, just crashed. Got up and fiddled around for a little bit and then said, I'm going to the studio, and now I have coffee and a paper stuck to my coffee. And I'm here chatting. So we're glad you're here. If I'm Dave in the AM, this is Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. If you've never been here before, we do a lot of different kind of shows, a lot of different type of variety of shows, from news to entertainment, laughter, business, sports, you name it. We're doing it. And we're trying to tweak that and add value all the time. We have our standard shows. This is an early show. Our Front Porch Friday night show is a 2-hour show, which starts at 8. So I'm on for an hour. We'll take a quick break, flip everything around, and then we'll do our front porch. Well, we're going to talk about songs that have a girl's name in them. Songs that have a girl's name in them. This popped in my head, and I said, I'm going to do that. Really wanted to do that. So I have about 50 songs ready to go. We'll probably talk all over each other about certain songs. Everybody will start thinking, and we'll bounce back and forth. But they, a lot of songs have that. Legendary songs. And the stories behind them. Little snippets about maybe the stories behind them. Hopefully. We'll see. We know some of them. Some of them we might not know. But I think that'd be fun front porch topic. Light, not too heavy. I did see there's more news coming out about the supposed citizen, or whatever they want to call him, who was he illegally deported. A judge said they should have listened. Democrat goes down there. The information is coming out now. This guy's already a gang member. He goes down there, and a guy looks like he's really suffering. They're sitting there at the beer conference. But some of the information coming out now is that he was human trafficking. There was that possibility that he was being looked at that back in 2022, that he might have been doing that. So the more you dig, the more the uglier it gets. This guy's no good. And like I said, I don't have a problem where he's at. If the judge says bring him back to American soil, I've said it many times. I say Gitmo. That's American soil. That's our property. And we will deal with whatever we got to deal with after that. Hello, those of you on Instagram, those of you that are coming in by way of X and Twitch, we see, and Rumble. Thank you for being in here. I hope you're doing great on this. I know we traditionally call it Good Friday. I never understood that. It's Good Friday. It was a great Sunday. I know the name, I know the background, but what happened on whether you classified as Wednesday or Friday, that was not a good day, although what the eventual result was, that was a bloody day. That was a day of torture and death for us. But anyway, I'll not go down that road too far. Happy Easter weekend if you celebrate. I hope you do. If you don't, you don't. At least celebrate with your family in your faith. Somebody on one of the socials that we're on, I posted our thing about Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile, our partnership with Patriot Mobile is a blessing. You see it on the screen behind me. Promo code Cornbread. Our landing page is up. We're going to get that more on the scroll too. Website should be done maybe today, but certainly by Monday. It's a holiday. Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there. We should have our website. But anyway, Cornbread looks great on that landing page too. Anyway, they sent us a bunch of marketing materials. Thank you, Patriot Mobile, for that. So nice. You download that. You just upload it, do whatever. I put music to it, send it out there. Anyway, somebody said, what are your values? Because the one I put up today was about values. Well, I could go very deep with my values. That's a question we all have to ask ourselves. What is your values? Well, I think most people's values include freedom, faith, and family. Or faith, we can say it this order: faith, family, freedom. They're all equally important, but faith must come first. Family, freedom. They're all tightly joined together. So somebody asked me and I knew they're kind of gigging at. I know what it is. It's more of a slam job, but at least we're having a dialogue. So they said, "What are your values?" I said that. I don't think they would even see this program. It's not one that we have put clips up, but it's not something they go to live. But anyway, if they were, God bless you. But I said what I just said: faith, family, freedom. So they come back with a 2-word question: for whom? I know where they're going. They're wanting to say that we're discriminatory because we're conservative and da 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 da. You can see where this is going. So I said, for all. For all. Freedom from sin for all. Celebration of family for all. And a recognition and participation in our faith. Something like that's what I put. I haven't looked to see if I've gotten anything back. And I do believe in those. I think everybody, I would wish everybody has, when you say my values, though, that's my values. That's not anybody else's values. It could be the same. And I would project out just like I did and say, I think everybody would want that. You could add many other values in. That's just a really quick response of a very high level view of values. The freedom of sin, you could also say freedom of citizenship, the freedoms we have, which we've lost a lot. We've lost a lot of freedoms in America. We have through different means. But freedom from sin, freedom to travel, freedom to, go to what job you want to go to, freedom to, live your life the way you want to live it. Now, obviously, I would do that in accordance the best I can, or attempting to do the best I can. I'm going to say I've done my best. I'm saying attempting to do the best I can in conjunction with my faith. But anyway, I don't think anybody can argue against that. What somebody will say is, we had a snarky comment today about the same video that, the administration, they listed about, 6 or 7 pieces of the Constitution they said that we're violating. Article 1, Article 2, Article blah, blah, blah. You just know it's going to come. But that's what I would say on this Friday as we and I don't say celebrate. We do celebrate on Sunday. We celebrate Empty Tomb. But we think of the cost. We think of the cost for that freedom of sin. What it cost. The very best. So on Friday, we should be, I would think, inwardly looking at where we are with all this. Do we have a belief system? Are we following it? Are we, does that resurrection mean something to us? Are we a part of the resurrection to come? Anyway, that's a lot where you look at that. But then looking into Sunday, the celebration of the empty tomb, the sunrise services and things. I love those things. Be taking part in some things, maybe not everything that others do, but everybody celebrates in different ways or worships in different ways. Worship's a better word. But some people say Happy Easter, and I get it. Should be a happy time. Friday's not happy. Most people just look at it as a day off of work. Wednesday, Friday, whatever you want to say. It's not a happy day. It was a hard day. It was a troubling day. But again, I'll digress. I'm not going down that road. So my values are important to me. And I try to live by those values. The code that we live by, it's the values that we hold. So when they said that, I thought, okay, I can answer that. I don't always answer back people, especially if I think they're just being sarcastic and smart aleck and looking for a fight. I don't have time for that. I don't even, unless it's racist or dirty or something, I don't even delete it. I'll leave it up. You feel how you feel. You want to attack me? I would take it down if it attacked somebody else or attacked my kids or wife or something like that. Absolutely, I would take it down. But my values are my values, and I'll stand on them. And somebody could, make a judgment about me, but they're not my judge. They can make a judgment about me, but they're not my judge. We should all have values. We should all have a mission statement for our lives. It's kind of where are we kind of headed thing? What do we stand on? What are we trying to accomplish? I think those are good things. I think as you get older, you think about it more. You're running out of time. You're looking to accomplish things. What have you accomplished? Maybe you raised a family. Done that. You still always love them. When they hurt, you hurt. All that. We've went through some of that recently. You got the grandkids. If you had kids, you're going to have most likely have some grandkids. We do, several. So, you have those things that some things have already happened. You have those memories. Some things you're actively doing. And your mission statement is taking you down that road that you're living this code by, your values, and accomplishing your mission or the attempt to. We should always have things we want to do. We should never say, well, I've done it all. We'll sit down. No, you got to keep pushing. Keep pushing. That's feeds the soul, stirs the mind, invigorates your spirit. I mean, all those things we could say, all those adjectives. And so as I sit here on this Friday in the studio, although I'm bummed about some things, I'm very excited and happy about others. And I hope that you are as well. I say that to really summate that is that I hope that you are in a good place. We got some extremely good news in today. Something that's been really kind of in our face and attacking us. We've got to follow up on it Tuesday or Monday. And we hope that it is good news that we think, but that's the thing that we do. We just pray and keep pushing on and hoping that those things will happen. The pressure points will be alleviated or removed or whatever, and that we'll be a better product on the other side of those things and, how we handle it. And it was very hard. And we hope it was like a weight lifted. We feel it was like a great gift on this Friday. And it was probably there from Thursday. We were so busy we didn't check the mail. So we're kind of experiencing that now. And it's like, I'm going on at 8, but I want to go on earlier. I feel good. I finally feel a little bit better. I feel like I've missed something. Missing a show is not what I want. That's part of my mission statement, to try to not to miss shows. And so Rob did a fine job. I just don't like to miss. I believe in taking vacations and stuff, but even on vacation, I would do podcasting. Absolutely. I got to make up to my wife since I got to work. We may head out somewhere for a couple of days, first of the week. I took those days off, or if not, I'll just podcast all day, on and off, around doing other things around the house, other chores, podcast, do some different shows, catch up. Got a bunch of catching up to do this weekend. And then we got all the good video that's going to be coming from the Mayhaw Festival. Robert will be in South Georgia, Colquitt, Georgia. We're still apart. I'm just not there. We're going to miss the good dinner Rob was going to prepare. Going to miss the fellowship, the camaraderie, meeting those fine people in that area. Do the best we can. Life is life. I'm still here. Still glad to be here. We're excited. If you're not on Rumble, appreciate you where you're coming from, but get a Rumble channel and follow us on Rumble. We're not part of the content creator program in Rumble. It's got a lot of nice features, and we do some Rumble exclusives. We would like for you to follow us on Rumble. Friends of ours have been doing that, downloaded the Rumble app. It's free. You can go premium. We are, or at least with some, we have, I don't know, 2 or 3, one overall podcast, or say ministry, but we do have ministry that we have, but I also have a personal one too. I don't pay a premium on it, but I watch programs and things I like, and we're all over Rumble. That's one of our main storage bins for our programs, YouTube and Rumble. We get you a Rumble channel and follow us. All the great podcasters from Killer Carl, Kim's Coffee Talk, Empty Pockets Podcast, the Celtic Blacksmith, Oh, so many. Angry 1981. So many more. So many more. And among that, we have actually 3 channels. Southern Fried Podcast, yes. But the overall umbrella for Southern Fried and Cornbread Nation on Rumble is SF Podcasting, which stands for Southern Fried Podcasting. So SF, it's just what we initially came in as. We were trying to figure this thing out. But now everybody knows us from that. They know us more from it than they do the other channel. But they do come in on both channels. And we're streaming live right now to both channels. But get your Rumble channel. Absolutely. Get some of that 55coffee.com that Killer Carl advertises. I drink it here in the studio. Promo code Carl, CARL 15, help him out. That lets him know that you'll get a discount, and he gets some benefit out of that. And Killer Carl's been a big friend to the podcast. We appreciate that, as well as Kim and Angry, and I'm shortening those names down. But I'm forgetting somebody. I know I'm forgetting somebody I wanted to mention. And they're going to, don't be offended. I'm trying to think. I need to get my list in front of me. I'm getting older. My birthday will be, see, today's the 18th, 12 days left in the month. 18 days. 18 days away. 18 days. The big. You know, when you're young, you always think, I want to be 16. I want to be 18. I want to be 21. Nobody ever wants to be 30 or 40 or 50 or whatever. Most people don't. I will be 60. It's hard to believe that. It's hard to fathom that. I've been in this big sphere called Earth. If I make it 18 days, pray I will. That I've been here for 60 years. It doesn't seem possible. I have a few aches and pains. But other than that, I don't have the energy level I used to have. But I feel pretty good. We've lost some friends. We're thankful to be here. As the song says, we're a winner either way. If I stay or if I go. Amen, because I know where I'm going. I know in whom I have believed. And I take comfort in that. Hallelujah. Be looking forward to the Sunday morning. I was looking forward to that with Rob from Rob's, but that doesn't happen. Not going to happen. He's going to be wore out. But I'll be on Sunday morning early for the Easter program. And we'll have our coffee and we'll talk about the empty tomb. We've been doing this thing called 6 verses that will change your life. And so it'll be something around that. 6 verses that will change your life. So I look forward to that. 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on the air. Now, tomorrow there's shows as well. At least one. Southern Fried MAGA is Saturday. We may do another one. Depends on how early I can get up. And Sunday is the Sunday morning in the Word and the news desk for sure. And then we'll get back in our regular programming on Monday. Plus, during the day, Saturday, live from the Mayhaw Festival. So we'll be watching Rob and live on stage, I'm sure, as that gets kicked off early. And communicate with him on what's going on there. So that's great. Hope you have plans this weekend. Some people are traveling. They go to their families. Talk to people. Some people there that were staying home. Some people are traveling several hours to go see family. Always take advantage of that. I know it's hard. I was listening. I follow this lady, and I don't know if she ever follows us, but she has followed us our streams. I don't know if she ever comes in. And if she's watching, God bless you. My heart went out. She's, you know how it is. You have family, children even come see you, but one child has not seen her in 2 years. Maybe this Easter will change that. I hope so. That's horrible. Maybe distance is a problem, but come on, in 2 years, that's amazing. Dean from the Southern Fried Racing Hours tell me we got trucks on tonight. Sent that to the wrong one. That'll be okay. Texts coming in, emails coming in, messages coming in. It's a busy life, right? Respond to my wife, I'll be in trouble. There we go. And respond to my friend here, Dean from the Southern Fried Racing Hour. He's going to have surgery on Monday, knee replacement surgery. Pray for him. He needs the prayers, and he may have to come by way of video for a week or two instead of in studio. James, if you're watching, we appreciate you, buddy, being in here. And we look forward to you coming back. We hope you'll come back as oft as you can. Appreciate their testimonies about their churches and their pastors. We did get a lot of talking about a lot of stuff, including wrestling. We'll endeavor to stay on the wrestling. The racing. We need to talk a little bit about the truck racing and the sub-series for that. Those are exciting races. That's what he was telling me the trucks are on right now. And so look forward to seeing the race each week. It's always fun if you like NASCAR. If you don't, I get it. Baseball's been hot and heavy. My Braves have not been doing too well. Basketball out there. Of course, racing. Here we are in May, and I would say that let's see here. He responded to me. Well, maybe not. So if you travel, be safe. There was a tragic story of a couple of dear brothers in the Lord who a tree fell on their truck. Sadly, one has passed. He's at his reward. One of them is in critical condition, but seems to be going to make it, but with a lot of damage, a lot of broken bones. It's a massive tree. I saw the picture. They just happened to be, I think he might have been stopped at a stop sign or stoplight or something that fell over. It happens all the time. People don't realize how often that happens. A little wind being up, maybe the tree is dead. Ground is saturated. All kinds of things can happen. I had a friend of mine who barely missed a tree once during a storm. He left work. He heard it start cracking. He punched his accelerator, and it fell right behind him. I mean, right behind him. That's how quick his life could have probably. It was a big tree. That's how quick that can happen. We just don't like to think about it. Trees come down all the time. I love trees, but some people sitting in the middle of trees, they need a perimeter. They're nice for shade to help with the power, and they're nice to have around, but there's that danger. And they are expensive to get taken down unless you do that kind of work yourself. That's an expensive endeavor to get a tree taken down. Bigger it is, more it's going to take, taller it is, all that, several $1,000s. And if you have several, that's more than people can do. So they just live with the threat. Can you imagine? My uncle and his family were in a trailer up on the hill in the woods. They had one come through their trailer, just basically cut it in half. Trailer house is not much match for a tree. A car sure isn't, and certainly a trailer is not a match for that either. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. I don't remember if they were home at the time or not. It seemed like in my memory banks, I believe they were, just not in that part of the house or the trailer. It was more towards the front end of the trailer, more, I think, utility room kind of in that area. But it sure did just slice right through it. Trees are not to be played with. You have those that are called the widowmaker, and they're the ones that's about ready to come down. Stay away from them. I talk, you talk to people that hike and stuff, and some people they don't think about it. They just think, oh, this is like a great place for a picture. And I tell them, look, possibility is coming down right then. It's probably nil. But if you've got any wind up or anything, at some point it's going to come down. If it's hollowed out, there's not much holding it. And I told somebody that hikes all the time. I said, it's called the Widowmaker. And they're like, what? Why? And I told them, they went, ooh, I never thought about that. So maybe they'll be a little more cautious. We don't have to take the picture right in the tree. There's all kinds of other things to do. Do rock. Cutouts of rock and stuff. That would be cool. Unless it's looks like it's going to crumble coming off the side of a hill or something. But yeah, that people don't think about that. They just like to hike. That's great. But you got to think about those kinds of dangers and stuff. So let me run just a quick commercial. We have to do those things, We're about halfway through. Let me just run a quick commercial, and we'll be right back. This is David the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast. We are now an affiliate of Podbean. Podbean is an audio platform which helps you get your voice out there. You can go online and go live from your very phone that you use. You don't have to have a lot of special equipment. It's nice to have a studio, but it's expensive. You can do those things from your phone. Hey, I was a listener of Podbean before I even became a podcaster. Maybe you've thought about being one. There was a time when I didn't think about being a podcaster, but think about it. You've got things to share. It could be as simple as baking, or it could be working on a car. The stories are endless that you could come up with to be a podcaster. And there are people out there that want to listen and to your stories and to your shows. And we're thankful for all those that watch and listen to us. Podbean is now an affiliate of the Southern Fried Podcast. Unless you're a business plan, that would be the bottom one. The one on top, use that. You'll get discounts, and also the Southern Fried Podcast benefits in this as well. I love Podbean. They also help launch out to many other audio sites. This saves me time. Time is precious. Time to be on the podcast. Time for research. Time to be with family. And yes, time to work. Yes, we still work out there in the workforce. So become a podcaster. Use Podbean. And when you use these links, one of them, you will save money, and you'll also help the Southern Fried Podcast. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. We'll see you soon. All right, Mammoth Nation, we are an affiliate with Mammoth Nation. Use that QR code. Become a monthly supporter, or you could be like me and become a lifetime member. When you do this, you're going to unlock a lot of savings at many, and I mean they have many. They add more all the time. America First companies. These are American companies that believe in the values that you have wherever you're living. They just believe in those things of freedom of speech, and the freedom to defend yourself, all those things, just like we do. But you get all these great discounts when you go into their portal and then access these vendors. And you can do searches and different things to find what you're looking for. They have all kinds. We're going to start highlighting some of those vendors again. We did that before. We'll do it again next week. But you can be a monthly supporter for as little as $5, and you're going to get a lot more back in that in savings. I mean, I've seen as much as anywhere from 10 to 30%, depending on the site. And I think once even 35. But yeah, Mammoth Nation, what a great, and get on their email list. They do a great weekly video too that really talks about a lot of the issues. I love that. They're being proactive. They're not just out there. I mean, they're making much of business, absolutely, but they're not just out there making money. They're out there making a difference. They're highlighting the issues. Just like Patriot Mobile, trying to make a difference in this world. Defense of those values that we hold dear, our faith, our freedoms, family. It's just amazing to be a part of such a family. And then W Energy drinks, which I have here, the tub as well. They have the cans back in too. But you can get 10% off if you put the promo code in, and you'll help the Southern Fried. Now, when you do that, they also run monthly, weekly, daily, hourly specials. And I have seen them run as much as 40% off. 40% off. I've got to get a QR code, but copy that address down. And just go to W and just put in Southern Fried. That's all you got to do. Easy to find, easy peasy. Love those people. Love their product. As I said, I get the tubs and I put it in my water bottle. And I also have some of their bottles as well. They're shakers. They're into the gaming a lot, so they have some really neat looking shakers and stuff. I've got a couple, three of those. I've got one hanging on the wall, one back here, one in the house. They've got the packs as well. I have some of those in, but they're great to work with. We appreciate all of these affiliates. What a blessing to have, be associated with those that we believe in, and they've been great to us. So we ask you to support those, and you're helping yourself as well. Well, the beauty of this is the energy drink, yes, but there's no shakes and no crash. And I can verify that is the fact. The fact. So, yeah. Don't forget, Front Porch Talking will be live at 8 bells Eastern. We'll be going off the air in a few minutes here. I did want to bring up, Tulsi Gabbard has talked about, and I kind of predicted it, and I'm not bragging. I just, in my gut, just told me that the release of some of these files, there would be no, quote, smoking gun. And she as much as said that about the RFK files that they just did the data dump on. But there is some odd news in it. No smoking gun, but different countries sent messages about RFK's assassination before he was actually killed. Now, that's interesting. She said, quote, there's no smoking gun, but there are a lot of interesting things that have not been previously known that really call into question what really happened and who was behind it. Gabbard and Health and Human Services, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced the release of 10,000 documents on Friday, today, gave people time to read, as off work probably, in relation to the 1968 assassination of RFK, who was shot and killed after delivering a speech at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. RFK was assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan, a Palestinian immigrant who eventually admitted to killing Kennedy in the 1969 trial. At the time, Sirhan told journalist David Frost that he felt betrayed by the senator while citing RFK's unwavering support of Israel. However, at another point, Sirhan also claimed that he had no memory of committing the crime. RFK's autopsy found that he was ultimately killed by a bullet that was fired from behind his ear, which conflicts with the official narrative, as reports during that time stated that Sirhan was standing in front of Kennedy. That has prompted skeptics to ponder whether there was a second shooter in the whole ordeal. Meanwhile, RFK Jr. has stepped into the spotlight once more, increasingly addressing the circumstances surrounding his father's assassination. Kennedy also questioned, in addition to skeptics, whether Sirhan was the sole shooter who killed his father. He said, quote, the people that were closest to Sirhan, the people that disarmed him, all said he never got near my father. RFK stated in 2018, I was disturbed that the wrong person might have been convicted of killing my father. My father was the chief law enforcement officer in this country. I think it would have disturbed him if somebody was put in jail for a crime they didn't commit. RFK Jr. previously supported Sirhan's request for parole in 2021, which ultimately ended up being denied by California Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat, California. He now remains incarcerated at the Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego, California. On Friday, Gabbard questioned the media's official RFK assassination narrative in a Fox News segment, shockingly revealing that a number of American ambassadors in foreign countries had been speaking about the assassination, quote, before he was actually killed, end quote, leading her to question whether it was a global effort and to what end. She says, quote, there are other documents I mentioned, State Department cables that show different countries were sending messages to each other around Senator Kennedy's assassination, saying that he had been assassinated, but that was before he was actually killed, end quote. She stated, quote, I think in my view, these documents provide the background to more questions and answers, end quote. And there's some more information there. This is from own.com, OANN news.com. And that's the problem with all this, right? It opens up more questions than it gives you answers. And that's been the story in all of these, whether it's the assassination of either of the brothers or Martin Luther King Jr. There's always these questions that never seem to get answered, and we get more questions. Speaking of President Kennedy and his assassination, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, CIA, different people. But there are those that believe that it was an accident, that the loser shot, but that the killing bullet came by accident from a Secret Service member. I've seen a picture of that. If you've studied a lot, you've probably seen that. That had the assault weapon, and when the first shot rang out, it had it in the floorboard of the car behind him. Picked it up. There's a picture of him holding it. At some point, I don't know if it was then, and that the car lurched as they were trying to get out of there, and that as he fell, he fired a round off by accident, sort of sideways, and that was the killing shot, and that all the cover up and everything was so that the country wouldn't, lose, that they wouldn't lose faith in the Secret Service. And sorry, got things going on here. Things want to be aggravating today. That's okay. So I don't know. Everybody's got opinions, and you're not going to change anybody's mind about it. You honestly are not. I mean, people believe what they believe. They will say, "I've looked into this. I've researched it for years, and this is what happened." And you're not changing my mind. So I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just saying it was interesting we had this discussion. And wouldn't it be interesting if a loser, and that guy was a loser, my gosh, the loser got off 3 rounds, missed, or maybe he hit one, I don't know. But the killing shot came from our own protection. That would be an ugly, ugly realization. That man is dead now. He died, lived a long life. But if that's true, he had to live with that knowledge. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. Just saying it would be difficult. The person you are protecting, actually, you accidentally take out. That's horrible. And when you think about things that happen, I mean, there's friendly fire in war too that has killed people soldiers. It happens all the time, as well as leaders. The football player who died, brave man, friendly fire. It's an ugly truth. It's hard. That's why they don't want the people to know that, because it could have just as easily been an enemy bullet. I mean, it's a firefight going on. It could come from anywhere, any direction, ricochets and everything. Fragments, whatever. So a lot of times they just push that to the background. It's a casualty of war. It's horrible. But there are friendly fire. Artillery gets the wrong ordnance. They fire a rocket from a ship. Wrong coordinates there as well. Or helicopter gunships or planes dropping bombs. You get the wrong, they mess up, they make a mistake, and they get they get in an area where they're off target, or they were given the wrong coordinates. That could be another mistake. You say here, but it's really here, and we unload on that area. So there's a lot of things that can happen. And that's truly sad when something like that happens. But could it be that this? But I'm for always the investigation to try to figure out and get the American people the story. Some will never believe it. I would like a resolution to it, because the one we have is not believable, and nobody believes that story. I mean, you don't meet anybody that believes the stories they've gave on that. So let's get one that, and we can add in, if that was the truth, we can also add in that there were other elements at play, but we can find no evidence that this happened. It may have. We don't have any evidence that it happened. And that's what I've always said in this. It's been long enough now. They say these are all the files. Makes you wonder. That's another thing. I hope it is. Those files, well, there's some removed, but these are things that bother us. And we just don't know. So I would hope that I would hope that we get the right answers. I mean, there are some things, for national defense and protection of the country and stuff, you can't release at the time. I get that. In that case, we needed answers that we didn't get because you've already lost the president. I mean, but I get it. If it was him, if that was the guy, he would have never lived his life. He would have never been able to function. I don't even know if he knew. I mean, I don't know that part. I don't know if he knew. Probably had a good idea though. But that's what people don't want to see, the obvious sometimes that happens. Things do happen. You see one of those shows where you see how people die, and they died from these really weird, odd things that happen. Like, how could that ever happen? And people have a hard time believing it, but it's really true. A lot of times when somebody's family dies and they think somebody did bad things, they just can't accept the fact that it was, their own mistake, or maybe it was fueled by drugs or whatever. Nobody killed them. They just had an accident. They, accidentally hit their head on something. They fell. Or I know people this has happened to. And people say, no, I think somebody did something bad to them. They just don't want to believe that. I know people that's been hung themselves in jail. They believe that they were murdered. You can't convince the people of it. They're going to believe what they're going to believe. And they do not want to even, they'll get mad at you about it. They will absolutely get mad at you. I tend to just let them, there's no sense in discussing it because it's not a discussion. They will jump on you and attack you for your beliefs on it. They'll say, that's not true. That's not what happened. I know. I will never believe it. You just can't win an argument like that. I'm not even trying to win, but you can't have a mutual discussion because they're going to say, you're wrong. And they'll get mad at you. And they'll go around telling everybody that you're spreading false narratives and stuff. So I like to discuss what I like to do is present the different aspects of it and get people's opinion. And everybody's got one. That produces conversation without being confrontational. And I like that. I don't like to be confrontational. I like to say, this is my belief. Okay, now what do you believe? And I don't want to tell people they're wrong, because then it becomes a confrontation. Sometimes you can point out things, inconsistencies, and stuff. You could ask the question, leading questions. Well, can you explain this? Or can you explain why it happened this way? How was that possible? Without saying, I don't believe that. And then have them explain the reasons they believe it. People like to talk and they like to tell what they believe. Have them say what they believe and why they believe it. That's a little safer ground than you saying, well, I don't believe you. People get defensive. We all do. We don't like to be questioned in our beliefs. But we can also shift our beliefs over time. There are things that we change our opinion on. And actually, that is a sign of intelligence, that we are thinking critical, using critical thinking skills to absolutely put pieces of evidence together and say, you know what, I now believe different on this. My emotions is in it, my hurt, my grief, my anger, whatever were in this. And now as I sit back and I look at all the evidence and I look at things, then I realize I may still be right what I believe about some of it, but I may shift. I may have a different opinion. And that's what we should do always. But these committees they use to investigate stuff, they're horrible. The Warren Commission, the J6, I mean, all this stuff, it's never works out. It never gives you, it always has a slant. It always has an agenda. It never gives you that thing that you're looking for, which is just truth and transparency. It always gives you altered facts, misleading facts, misstated facts, missing facts, things you don't even know that should be there. And we left, again, with more questions than answers. And those are frustrating. Those are great frustrations in life to see that happen. So I I hope that they can get more. Just about all the people involved are dead. There are a few people left. But all the major players in most of this have died now. Especially many of them were older. They died 20, 30 years after. And here we are, all these decades later, a lot of them have passed. No deathbed confessions, or not very little. Kind of interesting, too. People that even pointed fingers at never said a word. Went on to their forever, their eternity, never opened their mouth. I found that interesting. Because a lot of people will unload in their last moments and say, listen, I need to get this off my chest. This is my version of this. This is what I know. It's an amazing thing. And when President Lincoln was assassinated, sadly, we didn't agree with his policies, but we never want to see that. Obviously, there was a lot, not just investigation, but a full-on. I mean, they were currycombing the countryside, and they were violating rights all over because the president has died or is dying, and then died, because it took a while, and so they threw all law in the wind, and then some people got caught up in that net, and you don't. Some people possibly were not as involved as they try to say, but you get caught up in that wake, and it takes you down with it, and that's why you have to be careful. And that's what me and Rob were talking about the other one of our recent shows was you have to be so very careful. You get caught up into something, and you wonder where, why did I get caught up into this? I don't live this way. You could just give somebody a ride. You don't realize that person's doing something wrong. Then you become a part of the story. You become a part of the, you become a part of the narrative now that you've done something criminal. They've been totally innocent. But good people have been in trouble for associations. And so when certainly a president, that happens. If you just knew this person, maybe, you just were friends. You didn't know they were a part of anything. You just acquaintances, not even close friends, you're acquaintances. And that all of a sudden somebody says, hey, I saw that guy. He was with him. That's all it takes. And they're going to round you up in that net, bring you in. And then you worry about, false charges and false evidence and things that could happen. That's scary. That is truly scary when you think about it. So I hope that we just need to, I've said this time and again, we need a cleansing in the nation. We need the information released. We need no holds barred, release it all, as ugly as it may be. There's going to be no smoking gun. I don't believe that, but I believe we could clarify a little bit more some of the things. I think long ago things were removed. They're supposed to hold on to all that, but come on. If somebody knows that there's a record out there that incriminates them, it's gone. It's gone. They don't care about foreign governments and all that and spies and all, but they're not going to leave a record there that they know that there's something in there. That's getting dispatched to the fire pit, and then scattered to the wind, the dust. Yeah. And then you have all those people that disappear, or they died in mysterious circumstances that are connected to political people. How many now they're attached to a certain family we know? 27 that have died. That's an odd number, and there's a lot of odd things to it. Not saying lawyers standing by, but it does make you wonder. 27, I think it is. And there's no doubt there was dirtiness going on in that family. Way back when, all the way in the state level. So, all right, we're going to get off here. We got to get ready for our front porch show. It's good to be in here. Stay with us or come back and be with us. If not, thanks for joining. God bless you. Have a great weekend on this holiday weekend. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. We truly mean that from our heart. You mean a bunch to us. If We might not even know your name. And you may be a number on the screen. But that number means something to us. It means you gave up your precious time to watch us. And we do not and will never take that lightly. I don't care. We don't know if we'll ever be big. What's big? I don't know. It could be hundreds. Every one of those numbers means something. You all have value from across the world. Thank you so much, and we salute you. I'm Dave in the AM. This is Breadhead, the Breadhead Show, Cornbread Nation Breadhead Show. I like that. We'll go out with some music, and we'll be back in about 31 minutes, 32 minutes, something like that. So, looking forward to another show. Get in some names of girls in songs, the song title specifically. I'm going to enjoy that. See you soon.